Hi, thanks for tuning into this presentation during Carers Week 2023. This is part one. This is our little team at the Essex Carers Network. I'm Wendy and I'm part of the team. And today I'm going to talk to you about the support and rights for carers. Now, when I say carers, I'm talking about people who care for a family member or friends without being paid to do so. They might be getting carers allowance, but they are not paid carers. You know, it's really hard when you're a parent, carer, when you're a mum to a son or a daughter with a disability. You are always mum, you're always that parent. But when you're caring for someone with a learning disability, there comes a time when we have to embrace that label of being a family carer. It's not something that comes naturally to us, but it's a term we need to start thinking about using when our sons and daughters become adults, because that is how the system and services refer to us. They refer to us as their carer or their family carer. So we have to embrace that language. I just want to start by telling you a little bit about the Essex Carers Network, in case you don't know who we are. So we're a network of families and we all care for a family member with a learning disability. And this could include autism and other disabilities as well. I suppose there's two main jobs that we do within the network. The first thing is that we work to make sure that the lived experiences and the voices of our families influences what opportunities look like for our family member. We want to make sure that the things that are put in place for our family members are right for them, to ensure that they have a good life and a life that we would choose for them. The second thing that we do is to support our families to make sure they have the tools and the resources they need to feel strong, to feel resilient and able to advocate for their family member. I think as a family carer, we tend to focus on our family member and getting things right for them. And sometimes we do forget that as family carers, we have needs as well. I often say, if you get it right for my sons, then you've got it right for me as well. But if we don't take care of ourselves as carers, who will do what we do? So I am a family carer. I have two sons and they both have a learning disability, and my younger son Harry has autism as well. So they're adults now, so I've been caring for them all their lives and I will continue to care for them up until the day that I die, which is quite a responsibility as a family carer, and I think that's a responsibility that we have when we are parent carers. We hope that our sons and daughters will outlive us, so we will spend the rest of our lives thinking about them. Have we got the right support in place for them? Are they going to be okay when we're no longer around? Today, this presentation is going to focus more on us as family carers, because we do tend to forget about ourselves. But for this slide, I just want to go back to our family member with a learning disability. Now, this is the eligibility criteria under the CARE Act. This is how our local authority decides whether our family member has eligible care and support needs or not. Now, our family member has to meet two of the outcomes. They have to be unable to meet two of the outcomes in order to be eligible for services from the local authority. There is a really great guide that has been written by our friends at HFT Family Carer Support Service called How to Get the Right Support from Your Local Authority. And I will put the link to it in the chat within this Facebook post. But if you're watching this on some other means, you can pause and write down the link and go onto the website. It's a really, really good resource, and it helps you to think about what you need to be asking for and making sure that your family member is getting the support that they need. Back to us now as family carers. Looking after our own health and well-being is really, really important. Do we notice when we're worn down and stressed? Do we get time out? I think probably not as much. What you might not realise is that the CARE Act and the eligibility criteria relates to us too as family carers. Remember, I said we really need to embrace the term family carers, and this is one of the reasons why, because there is a carer's eligibility threshold. Now, as carers, we only have to be able to not achieve one of the specified outcomes to be eligible for support from our local authority. So let's have a quick look at some of them. So maintaining a habitable home environment, that's one of the outcomes. And a number of years ago, I actually, through my carers assessment, had a cleaner for a year because I was struggling to maintain my house and keep it tidy owing to my caring responsibilities, caring for my 2 sons. So one of the other things that's really important in there, as carers, we have a right to develop and maintain family and relationships. We have the right to engage in work, training and educational volunteering, and also being able to make use of things in our local community, including recreation facilities, and being able to engage in recreational activities. And that's really, really important. I think a lot of times families who, especially those who still have their loved ones living at home with them, don't get much time for themselves. So you now know what the eligibility criteria is, but how do you get them recognised? So what you need to do is request a carers assessment from your local authority. Now, it's very interesting. So you can have a carers assessment even if your loved one is not in receipt of any support from social care. That's really, really important to know. They don't have to be getting a service, but you can still ask for a carers assessment if your caring responsibilities have an impact on your life and your well-being. The other thing that's important to know is you don't have to have your carers assessment at the same time that your loved one is having their care needs assessment. You can ask to have your assessment at a different time in a different place. Because let's be honest, would you want to talk about how challenging your life can be caring for your son or daughter if they're there in the room? I think it's really important before you have your assessment, go back to those eligible needs, the eligibility criteria, and think why you might struggle to meet some of those outcomes. Why you can't maintain a habitable home, why you can't maintain work, why you can't get out and about and maintain relationships with friends. Because this is the really important thing that might bring something for you. After you've had your assessment, you should receive a copy of it. You absolutely should receive a copy of it. The outcome of your carers assessment, in the very least, should be information and signposting. Absolutely in the least. But if you have eligible needs through the eligibility criteria, it could result in a service or a carer's direct payment. And at the moment, Essex County Council don't charge a contribution towards carers support. And I'm hoping that that's because they recognise a very, very valuable job that we as unpaid carers do and how much we save the system. You can find some more information on carers assessments at the Carers UK website. So the web address is there. It's www.carersuk.com/carers assessment. It's quite a meaty document, but it's well worth a look. Just quickly now, I want to go through a few things for you to remember. Remember that you are an advocate for your family member. You are not a difficult parent. And how many of us have heard that phrase before? But we are absolutely not. It's really important that you make sure that you are very well informed of your family member's rights and your rights as a carer. I know you've heard it before and it sounds a bit cliche, but knowledge is power, absolutely. It's really important to be assertive rather than aggressive, as I do feel that will bring you better results. And a very wise lady once told me to always remember the scuba diving rule, never dive alone. And that is really important. If you're going to a meeting or meeting with someone about your loved one, don't go on your own. Take someone with you. It's very likely that the person that goes with you won't be as emotionally connected as you are. So they will have more reasoning they may be able to listen better, and hopefully they can take some notes for you and keep you calm, which is really important. And please remember that you're not alone. At the Essex Carers Network, we absolutely want to support you in any way we can. If ever you have something that you're not sure about, if you have a question, a query, a challenge, please do just get in touch with us. We are always very, very happy to take your calls or receive your emails. So please do get in touch with us. We're all in this together. You know, we're all family carers. Every one of the team is a family carer. We get it. We've travelled some of that journey. We'll travel it with you as well. So please, please do get in touch. Thank you so much for your time today. As I said, please do feel free to get in touch with us. There's our email address and our telephone number. We're on Facebook and we're on Instagram, and we're always posting on there, so do give us a follow, and please have a look at our website. Thanks again. Take care, and remember, you're not alone.